It's been a while.
Stain's on the podcast with us. No, I'm just kidding. It's good to see everybody. Thanks for joining the Discord so far. We got the Discord up and running. So if you're listening,
for the real ones,
yeah, that's right. And you can talk to us as if it was hard in the first place,
right?
But
now you can talk to us on our phones.
Absolutely, at night. You can ask anything you want about my mediocre, unchanging bass rig. No, I'm just kidding. Which has actually been changing quite a bit here recently. Got a lot of new. Well, we'll get into it.
Okay,
we'll get into it. But yeah, I do want to say, join the Discord if you're nasty, as Paramore says.
Absolutely.
Miss Haley Williams, if you're nasty.
Heck yeah.
Get on the Discord. And the other thing, just say it up real quick. Make sure to subscribe, follow our YouTube channel. We appreciate all the support we can get.
Blah, blah, blah.
I know.
Do it. Just do it. We'll
Just
stop
do it.
talking about it. Blah, blah, blah.
Just do it, We appreciate all the support we can get right now. So
yeah.
Thanks. And we got affiliate links and whatever. They're all listed somewhere. But let's get into it.
If the Discord link has expired, just message us.
That's right.
I think you have to make a new one like every 7 days. But
okay,
it's a fun place for the youngins.
That's right. That's right. The young kids. No kids. Well, I mean,
it's like all kids.
If they're good at bass.
I mean, when Discord overwhelms me because it's like so complicated. It's like a foreign language.
Yeah, it's not a user interface.
And the
good.
kids have it mastered. I'm doing my best. If you have suggestions, let me know.
They're kids. The kids these days.
The kids.
Well, yeah.
And Tyler Young.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Young jumped in there. I want to be like him when I grow up.
That's right. That's right. Hip. Relevant.
Great bass player.
Yeah, really good. Good taste in gear. Yeah, man. Well, let's roll on. My rig. I had a big addition. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Added a tuner.
Yes, it's about time, man.
Dude,
people were complaining.
It's like, where's the tune? I'm like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Pitch
is relative.
No, I hate the Helix and HX tuners.
Oh, okay,
they're low key horrible. And somebody back me up in the comments because they're bad. Like. They're just they can't make up their mind. They don't decide well, man. They are never accurate guitar to bass, whatever. And I've been playing with this really stripped down board, and all I was doing was just my tube preamp, my Arkham, and then my HX with the Expression, and that was it. And I was just using the tuner on the Expression, it was on the Expression little two pedal box TRS guy. Well. That all changed when a buddy of mine showed me Pedalnetics. They're making these. I swear it's 3D printed. I mean, it is 3D printed.
Yeah,
and it's very low profile. And it comes with a 3M strip and a built-in TRS, and it goes right on top of the HX. It just fits there, so you can get your extra two switches right on top. So then I was like, well, I got all this space on the board.
Yeah.
So I threw a little tuner on there, and I've never been happier.
Amen.
That's right. I like rolling small, man. And you're moving to like a small thing for Bonnaroo.
For Bonnaroo,
which has probably happened by the time this comes out. But
yes.
Yeah, dude. Tell me about your little small iteration.
Yeah.
I like a small board in general, but go on. Tell me about it.
First of all, the like $25 like pedal train knockoffs that are on Amazon are fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. If you just need a pedal board, not necessarily hard cases, don't plan on it being some like crazy tour worthy whatever, but if you just need like a pedal board of a specific size, maybe you have a Pelican already,
or just to throw in the bottom of like a suitcase, honestly. If
yeah,
your clothes
or
are holding
on.
it down.
Like if it's just a little soft case and you're going to carry it on the plane, it's great.
Totally.
As long as it doesn't get bumped.
Nice.
Yeah, but so I have this tiny little Amazon board that I use for fly dates when I need to. I have a pedal train right now that I like, but it's a little messy looking, and I've been swapping pedals in and out. I really don't want to keep swapping pedals all the time.
It's tough.
So I grabbed a Temple board off of Reverb. Used Temple board with a flight case. It's pretty amazing. I plan to not use all the little plates and stuff to mount it because I don't find it's a very efficient use of space. My friend Jonathan McCowan, who like wires pedal boards, he also does not use the plates that they're made to go with. You just use dual lock on it, but you use all the holes and plates for cable routing and zip ties and that kind of stuff to make it really clean.
Nice.
So I'm kind of between these two boards, and so I was like, okay, I'll just throw together like a quick board for Bonnaroo because I don't actually need a bunch of excuse me. I don't actually need a bunch of pedals for Abby's stuff because So I've got Noble, which is all I need. I do enjoy having like an EQ or an overdrive or like a flavor pedal in front of the Noble, but it's still like it doesn't actually matter that much. So I'm just doing Noble, Union Tube and Transistor Lab Compressor, which is my new freaking favorite thing. Like, I use it so subtly. It's got an LED that kind of ramps up and changes green to yellow to red based on how much it's compressing. It's so cool. It's my favorite compressor I've played in a long freaking time. I like it better than the Big Cali. I like it better than probably the API. And I think probably it's because I use compression so low and so sparingly. It is barely on. And it is very quiet.
That's great.
I have not noticed any noise or any whatever, because I was finding even with the big, huge Cali, or maybe even sometimes the API, when I was getting a really subtle setting I could really hear the pedal's noise, or I don't know, whatever, because I'm using it more subtle than it was even meant to go.
Nice.
So the Lab, it was awesome. It's sold out on their website. I'd assume they make them in batches. I really don't know. They usually sell like direct to consumer. They also make a bean counter version, which is like if you want to save a little money, they screen print some of the labels that are on it, I think. And they don't do the really cool LED. They just do like an on and off LED. Mm-hmm. Saves you, I don't know, a little bit of money, $50, $30, something like that. The Deluxe though, like if you're gonna buy that compressor, I think you should get the Deluxe, and it's amazing. Nice. And then I have a little JHS boost pedal, really just because I if I went back in time, I'd probably get a cleaner boost, and JHS probably makes a really clean boost. This one, like as you boost it, it kind of has a flavor to it that I really enjoy, but I'm trying to use it just as a boost. We have a section in our show that's like a pseudo bass solo. Part of it,
they're giving him the rope,
right? Yeah. The only difference is that it's like a groove thing. Everything comes way down. Drums are doing like just 4 on the floor kick thing, and I have like a little bit of a lick, but vocals later come on top of it. The acoustic comes in, the electric, and it builds up and it gets really big. We do a chorus, and then we have an outro section that goes back to this bass groove. Mm-hmm. But everyone is wailing, like guitars are full on, cymbals are going whatever, and I've done it. I've tried to do it without a boost, and I like hurt my hands. I play so hard because I'm trying to keep up with everything on stage. So ended up the boost is just better. I hate, I don't want to add all these pedals and stuff, but it's kind of necessary for it that I can still play at like a healthy level, because I'm doing like fairly fast licks and stuff, certainly the fastest I play in the whole set. And so I'm just trying to keep up. So that JHS, and then I didn't really have enough room for a tuner, so I left a little instrument cable and power cable hanging off the side. They'll just, pop it in real quick and go. We're going to play 2 sets at Bonnaroo. One's Toyota Music Stage, and one is the Who stage. So that'll be fun. Madison Cunningham plays the day before, so I get to see her.
You going hanging out all weekend?
Yeah, we have weekend passes. We're camping.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, so I'm not
sleeping in the mud.
I'm not known as a camping guy. I'm working on myself.
It'll be fun.
Yeah. So we're gonna camp.
That's sweet. I rarely get to go. Anytime we play a festival, we're always in and out day of.
Yep.
I never get to hang around, so that's pretty cool.
For the first way, we were like on an outeroo or something like that, or a poster or something that was like it was a near Bonnaroo thing, but not an official Bonnaroo thing. Mm-hmm. So we initially didn't necessarily know that we were going to have passes at all, and that was going to be a huge bummer to go kind of play it, but not like rise to the level of getting in the whole weekend kind of thing. So this is the first festival I've probably ever gone to for the whole thing. And Kate, my wife's coming, which is very exciting. And we're going to be
to work day.
What?
Bring your wife to work day. Yeah,
we're we'll see how we're going to be miserable and it's going to be awesome at the same time.
Together.
Kendrick Lamar,
Yeah.
Paramore, gosh, so many. Foo Fighters, Colony House.
Hey, part.
Man, it's just so many.
Yeah,
Madison Cunningham.
That's sick. That's awesome. Are they backlining an amp, or are you bringing something?
Yep, SVT both times.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
with the full 8, or are they doing one of those like?
No, full 8. Yeah, the full shebang.
That's awesome, dude. I had a bunch of. I did that CMA Fest last weekend. I only saw SVTs on their like 3 biggest stages, and there's, if you don't know about CMA Fest, it's
if you know about the. You want to have them on the biggest stages.
Sure.
You want to have all the small stages too.
Yeah. Well,
it's inconsiderate. But.
There was like probably. I mean, there was a ton. Like there were so many stages. I mean, in my head, I can count at least like 8 stages. So
and then every bar on Broadway.
Yeah. So every rental house is definitely out, but basically every stage that I had buddies playing on or saw pictures from that wasn't actually the 2 bigger stages minus Nissan Stadium. They all had, all these smaller ones had like this GK rig.
Oh, interesting.
And it was horrible.
Oh, you didn't like it?
It was giving so much noise. It was just like, it was like the worst kind of distortion in the bad way.
Distortion on a GK, huh?
And there's a 0% chance that this person would ever hear this, but this monitor engineer, it was their first time running a band. And so like it was wild. We'd send like click and stereo tracks, and we fire it, and nothing comes out except for click and the wedges. And we're like, which, look, it's no surprise that a Nashville touring band is playing with click. I don't care if you know.
But you're doing this in front of people. You're line check. You're like, you're scooting in.
This is hundreds of people.
And they just heard click.
No, we are starting the show.
Oh.
And all our tracks are somehow muted. Well, then they finally, I say, kill the tracks, because our drummer runs them, and I just make the sessions. Do you have an MD mic? No, not on these backline usually. You got to really ask for it to get it on a backline thing. So I tell them, I was like, cut it. And we... Basically, I'm like, start it over, and I'm looking at monitors, and I'm like, ooh. And we hit it again, and nothing.
Is he acting like he's doing something? Like, is he trying, or is he like...
They're trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Kinda. And then, basically, I found out that they just muted that full everything. Muted pretty much all of the channels. Because they saw one person walk off the stage, and we're like, oh, I thought you guys were taking a break or something. And I was like, well, we were getting ready to start the show. So... started the show for I think the second or third time. They finally put it in, and we got our click back and could play the set with my crappy overdriven bass amp.
Oh, because you were on the GK.
Yeah, and it had just been put to the ringer over and over and over again.
I assume it was a big enough venue that they just took your DI signal anyways.
It was an outdoor stage. It was an outdoor stage. It was the Hard Rock stage.
So Hard Rock.
Yeah.
Safari Fries. Wait, that's Rainforest Cafe.
I don't think I've ever been to Rainforest once.
Yeah, you'll never forget it.
When that thunderstorm comes.
Yeah, it's like the produce section of Kroger growing up.
Oh my gosh. it's raining.
Oh my gosh, it's raining. Mom, I suddenly want celery.
Yeah, well, I really hate those backline rigs sometimes, and it makes you think, why didn't I just bring my board, you know?
GK has an interesting like tonal thing. I had a GK for a little while, and I bought it off of him. Yeah, it got kind of. It was like an MB 210, and when you up the volume a little bit on a 5-string, it got really farty. Like it would just. I
couldn't get any clarity out of this thing.
Yeah, which is weird. Like at lower volumes, you could because it was a little like slappy gospel-y, but yeah, they kind of have that like ultra hi-fi tone sometimes. I don't hate the amps. The ones I played. I don't think I like the cabs. But I've only played the like super lightweight ones. Well, I did play at South by Southwest. I played at 810.
Oh, nice.
So it was really interesting to go from like a full Ampeg SVT stack to a GK stack.
Yeah.
And you really heard the tonal, like the GK, it was an older GK, and it was heavy. and it had this like high mid forward thing. It was really aggressive, and I didn't feel like I could dial out that flavor.
Yeah.
Which, Ampeg's got a flavor too, but I think the difference is like with the history of that company, like modern music has conformed around the sound and the tone of an Ampeg and a Fender.
Yeah.
So like, yes, it has a color to it, but it's like, it sounds like a bass on everything.
Yeah, and I guess it's three things around. It's like punchy, it's usable, and over everything, it's expected. You know exactly what you're getting. And truthfully, with all these GKs that I end up with, I'm like, I just don't know what it's going to do. This is a 410. It was one of the newer metal grill. I think it was one of those lighter weight cabs. Yep. And then an older, like a blocky head. I mean, like a really beefy head. And it just didn't do it for me. It was it was tough. But when you've got 15 minutes for changeover, and I'm also the playback tech. Sorry, I just set up a computer and press play. Not really. I mean, I built
play it back.
Whatever. So I got to set up my playback rig and everything. So I'm like super limited on time. And there's like
you don't
have a lot of time. You got 15 minutes, and there's a band coming off, so you're fighting for room on the stairs up to the stage anyways. Yeah. So I'm like, oh man, we gotta go. So I can't just sit there and tweak and dial and whatever. Mm-hmm. And our set was 25 minutes, so it's like you can deal with it. You just deal with it.
Is it loud enough? Yeah. Okay, great.
And it almost was. It almost was.
Almost was.
Yeah, it almost was. But
I feel that way a little bit with Aguilar too. Aguilar's trying to be, or they say they're like a vintage sound, and they probably are, but it's like there's a certain like baked in mid characteristic with Aguilar that is just like not my thing. I really tried for it to be.
Sometimes it's usable, sometimes it's useful.
I think their stuff is designed really well. Like the DI is built like a tank. I love the aggro distortion. But I had a tone hammer head and the SL 112 cabs, and I didn't love it. I couldn't. Some people on forums like to say Ampeg gets scoopy, and it doesn't to me at all unless you scoop it. Like it,
I know what
there's a little bit of a mid, like of a low mid, whatever, and I guess you could call that a scoop, but like to me it just sounds like a little less muddy. It just doesn't feel muddy.
I know, I agree,
because I'm going pretty bright into it from my pedal board.
That punch it's got so much room on all fronts.
A
full range of EQ can hit constantly. You don't lose something when you turn up.
That's kind of how whereas the Aguilar thing, maybe it's like kind of sounds like an Ampeg without like a little bit of a mid contour. But I've found that if I'm trying, like I'm hitting all the buttons on an Aguilar, and I feel like I'm not doing much. I played a Backline show in New York, and they had, because New York is very Aguilar. Oh, yeah. They Aguilar owns that place. It seems like, and it was the blackface head, which I was more interested in, AG 700, something like that. And I liked it more than the tone hammer, but it still wasn't like super doing it for me. Mm-hmm. But the difference is, or the similarity is, you walk up to these rigs and you have 2 minutes. Literally. You've got 5 minutes to set up your pedal board and get everything ready.
And you got to get a mix rolling.
Right. You've got 2 minutes to look at your amp, and you got to get your mix right.
It's a whirlwind in the Backline festival circuit. It's a whirlwind when you're not the headliner at a festival.
Exactly.
So, no, I know what you mean,
how many people actually get to be that? And that's okay. Like, that's not, it's just reality until you have that experience. It's like this big divide between, your cover band or your regular band, whatever, gets hired to play a show, maybe locally or semi-locally, whatever. You bring your rig, you're in control. The flip side of that is there's quite a divide at like a festival or Backline gig, whatever, until you get back to the like, oh, we're playing this big venue and I get to bring my rig and I'm under control and whatever. If you're like us, you're touring in a van, size is a concern. So I'm trying to look at some better sized options for what I'm doing. And
see, we've got the
this
space.
Weird mid tier.
We travel with the trailer, and I'm able to bring whatever. But when you travel with a trailer, then you got to have a case for your amp.
Yeah,
and if you're bringing a big old amp,
heavy.
I don't even care about the price because I'm like, it's worth it to get a good case on an amp, especially if it's like, I know I'm going to keep this a while. It's a safe bet to get a case for a 410. And you see them wash up in Nashville all the time.
That's what I was going to say. You have to get it, like, there, you will not make your money back on that ever.
That's what I'm saying is when so I've got these Laney cabs. Oh, I've got a 15 and I've got a 410, and they are just irregular enough to where I would probably need to order like specifically fitting cases. And now you're talking thousands on cases. And I'm like,
and it's such a specific model.
It's so specific.
Like, they're not that known in the States, and makes it hard to not just like go with one of the big ones.
It's worth it for me, but also like you're right. You would never get your money. If I ever sold that Laney, it's not really an upsell to be like, I got the cases too. They're gonna be like, congrats, you spent $1,500 extra on cases. I'm not giving you that.
You go to sell it, and it's like you can maybe get an okay price for the cabs, and you throw in the cases.
Yeah,
and you can't ship it.
No,
which you already can't really ship.
You could. I've shipped a snowboard before, but it's possible. I wouldn't want to do it. So that's
it. Almost makes you want to go to like a Fender Rumble Neo cab. Like, they have a cheap one. Ashdown has some cheap ones. Ampeg has the 212 that I have, and I think I just really like 10s. Now, your Laney's sound amazing. They're 12s, right?
They're 10s. 410s. Okay. Yeah, 410s on the bottom.
And a 12 on top?
Sorry. I usually stack it with a 15 on the bottom.
So it's 410s and a 15? And
a 15.
Man, I just think I like 10s. I just like 10s. I need to stop trying to buy 12s.
Back to that expected.
Yeah.
You know what 10s sound like.
And it's low.
Punchy, it's full.
Yeah.
It's good.
It can do the high end thing. It can do the really low end thing. Yeah, that might be scoopy, but like, just boost the mids if you want more mids. Like,
it's all about the mids.
And they're very forgiving in new spaces.
No, I agree.
Very forgiving.
I only boost mids. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No. Yeah.
So that's cool.
I had something to say, then
that's okay.
Just started getting off into dreamland of Ampeg 410s.
Speaking of dreamland, Apple's VR headset.
Oh, baby. Some big tech coming out. How's that going to change the bass world?
Yeah. It's like, do I finally get to have my charts in front of my face the entire time I'm on stage and not mess up? There's the crowd, and I'm just looking like at the hugest Nashville number system chart ever. You see my weird little eyes through the
LeVar Burton's up there.
Like
Shaun White's playing bass.
Yeah, or I'm just watching like an IMAX like huge movie.
Yeah, I'm just vibing.
What's the point?
That would be the largest, most ridiculous chart possible.
I would try to make
Sunday morning will not be the same.
The worship leader, like it's like Star Wars scroll level lyrics in front of all these like church people on Sunday. Like, they just see the lyric roll the whole time they're playing.
Dude.
Chorus 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, the handmade active 5 and 6 and 7 string bass circuit won't know what hit it.
Oh man. The ultra tech
dude.
Tech bass player.
The tech bass.
Oh man.
Move over, iPad.
Man, I love new technology, but I just hope it never gets there. I really hope it never gets there. Cause like, what's even the point if you're really thinking about it, what's the point of even showing up if you're interacting with people who are like augmented reality or like somewhere in between virtual reality and not just go home and stay in your basement.
As VR is, it's like a party trick.
Yeah, I think there's
like, check out my VR goggles. Like, that's what they are.
I would love to live in a world where not every living room has a TV. Like, that'd be cool. Like, okay, if we're gonna go that far, sure, I would love my living room to not have a TV. I think the goggles are kind of dumb, but like, would I love to edit audio in Logic or something like on a big like thing? Yeah, but I don't want anybody to see me do it.
At its core, it is ridiculous.
It is weird. Yeah.
At its core.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see where that goes. I just think it's hilarious. Or like, your drummer in the studio's got his VR goggles on. He could see where you are in the timeline. Oh yeah, punch me in right here. Oh gosh. And like the studio photos you get from afterward, you're like, why does everyone look like a nerd?
Dude, marching bands are out there because they've got the clip on for their phone, for their like trumpets and their mellophones and whatever. Well, now you just be goggles.
Oh yeah,
uninhibited.
Sure.
There's like full bands of Tron Legacy just marching at halftime.
Everything looks like SSX tricky, like snowboard, like everything snowboard chic.
Eddie, that is snowboard chic. You're totally right.
We're bringing it back. 90s snowboard chic.
Got to wear with your Burton goggles. Wait, Burton jacket. You already got the goggles on.
Yeah, there you go.
Whatever.
Yeah. So I got Bonnaroo. By the time you hear this, it'll be over. You got anything fun coming up?
Going out to Country Jam in Mac, Colorado, and
Cool.
it's really it's like Grand Junction. It's like the last town you hit before you hit Utah. If you're driving from Denver. So I got to fly into Denver. It's like a full fly rig. It's a big festival.
I
with
love that area of the country.
Bunch of people. It's
so amazing.
The drive from Denver to Utah is the most beautiful drive in America.
Yeah.
It's unreal. You follow like the river and the train. It's so cool. It's classic. It's awesome. So
those are the flights too. Like if I've only flown towards that direction, but like feel like a little kid where I'm really bummed if I don't have the window seat and we're flying over that area of the country because I just want to like just stare at it.
Which,
like,
to be fair, descending into Denver from this side of the country sucks because it's just the way I like to call the eastern part of Colorado is dry Kansas. It's horrible, and when you come down, you're like, oh. It's just fields of dirt. That's cool.
Yeah, but
then you land and then you see the mountains. That's pretty cool. I'm in. I love the Colorado thing, so I'm doing that fly gig. I just told you about my new tracks rig I bought. I bought this SKB 2U rack that like fits in a Pelican, carry-on size Pelican. Awesome. So very cool. Excited about that. Gonna build that out.
Is a big deal.
Ooh, dude. I had to buy a new power conditioner for the artist I play with. I had to go get him a new one.
Most boring purchase ever.
It turned out to not be.
Oh, yeah?
So I walk in, I'm like, do you guys have any of the Furmans? I wanted the cheapest Furman, not because it's cheap, but because it is literally like 3.5 inches deep. It is so thin.
Yeah, it's like a shallow rack.
And the problem is...
shallow rack.
We used to buy that, the beefy, like the PL08. The biggest, nicest, it's got lights and meters, and it's got
the feeder,
it's got
filter. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. And we broke 2 of them. They sheared off because they're like 10 inches or 12 inches deep. They're huge.
They're really big.
They're huge. And it kept the weight of it would just, in the trailer, I swear, only in West Virginia, would just, and it would just flip. And it like literally had disconnected itself from the front plate. So this whole thing is just sagged. Like literally you would open the back of the rack and it looks like this.
Yeah, just
bad.
At an angle.
Not good. So I went in to Guitar Center and I said, hey, I need to buy a power conditioner, and they're like, "We don't have Furmans
What's
right
a power
now."
conditioner?
No, they knew. Oh, they knew. They didn't know where they were. They had to. It took a couple of them. I hope they don't listen to this. I didn't think you were wandering looking for it. Never mind. All right.
Do you know this person? Is that
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
So they took me to this power conditioner section that they had. They had a couple fun ones. You know who's making a power conditioner as a Radial.
Oh, cool.
Radial's a great brand.
Radial's cool. I have the Tone Bone IO Big Shot whatever over there.
Talk about my high school nickname.
Tone Bone.
Tone Bone IO Big Shot.
Yo, Tone Bone.
That's IO Big Shot. Yeah, no, dude. The Radial stuff's great. We've got those DIs that we travel with, and they're money. They're awesome. Well, I bought this. It's a power conditioner. It's a little deeper than I wanted. It's like 5 or 6 inches. This is like their lowest one. You know what it's got? So it's got 8 outlets on the back, which is exactly like the Furman conditioner. And for my bass boys with a rack, you need to get on this.
Rack
Let me
Nation.
tell you why. The front
Rack Attack.
a rack attack. Stickly. Dude, my bass players with a rack. You got to get on this. Let me tell you why. On the front, in addition to the 8 outlets on the back, 3 outlets.
3 courtesy outlets.
3 courtesy, and the real kicker, one USB.
Oh, cool. USB A or C?
A. Sorry,
Cool.
think about it.
Big
B,
boy,
you
you
wouldn't
gotta
believe
flip
it.
around, or
No,
little boy, you don't have to flip around.
No, you gotta flip it. You gotta flip it 3 times, and then it'll finally go in. No, dude. So we have that like Midas M32 core. So I've always got to carry on this.
Yeah.
I've always got to carry on this iPad. I'm like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
I can charge that. And my drummer, we'd run tracks off a SPDSX, so that power can come out of the rack. I don't need any more drops. I need one plug.
That's
It's big,
perfect.
dude.
Yeah, that's great.
It's big. I thought, wow, this is a really cool design. So I got to tell everybody, check out the radial. It's $110 is all it was, and I think the Furman retails for like $100.
Yeah,
I think it's like $10 for 3 more front outlets and a USB. I'm like, this is great.
The hard part of all that and like doing nice pedal boards with all the cool cabling and all the custom, like it makes your life so much better. But you have to resist the urge to buy anything new at all, or to change anything, or the whole thing was a massive waste of money and time.
I totally agree. My guitar board has not changed in I think 5 years now.
That's wonderful, and I envy
No,
that.
it stinks because I can't just like, you know, when you're a Guitar Center and you're like, why did somebody trade in that Earthquaker Devices like plumes or whatever? Like, I want to try that. Give me that.
Give me that. I want that.
And then you can't throw it on because you don't have a spot for it. You can't just throw it in a chain.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just screwed.
With this next build, I hope to have you guys can't see it, but it's a longer and a little bit deeper board. I hope to have the top line kind of my fundamental, almost never changing, like always on kind of thing. Then on the bottom line, I want an effects loop in and out that literally takes all of it out and goes input to Noble output, so that when I'm in the studio, I can just click it off and it's buffered and it's not going through all the extra crap. But I want the whole other section at the bottom to just have dual lock on it and just be like, whatever I want to put here. You know, I plan for it to to know I'm going to swap pedals.
Whatever the shores of Facebook wash upon you.
Because I just get myself in trouble too much with like changing stuff, and so I just.
But there's a thrill in that.
Yes.
You see a deal on Facebook, somebody's selling like, 3 pedals, and you're like, I've always wanted to try it. And there's a complete difference in trying a pedal at home versus gigging a pedal. There's a complete difference. And I'm like,
difference.
I mean, I can just play through it at the end or beginning of a chain, but it's not going to sit the same as if I put it in my board and gig out with it.
Yep.
So that's cool.
Yeah, and then the thing I'm really excited to try, and I'm not going to act like I'm smart enough to always know how this stuff goes, but the 29 Pedals EUNA, it is they call it a console grade input driver. It's like, they don't call it a buffer. They say it replaces a buffer at the beginning. And it has a couple tonal like options that you can just flick to make it like a little bit more bass biased, a little bit more harmonic biased, a little bit more treble biased. Just 3 knobs and a buffer. It's the kind of crap that I love, that I'm just like, oh yes, where I, half my pedal board will be utility pedals.
Grade.
Yeah, and like got one fun pedal on there and I'm like 12 pedals deep. But I'm really excited to try it. We'll see what happens. I have to admit, this was with the lab compressor as well. Someone on TalkBass snapped a photo of Pino's board recently, and it had the lab compressor on it, and it had the EUNA 29 buffle. And so I'm like,
what a chase for Pino we are.
Gotta try. Like if the master says it's
if he says it's good,
he could play anything. So he's got the Origin Effects, the SV thing at the end of it, which is cool. He's got 2 OC2s on it, which is awesome. Like that's always been his thing. It's the OC2. I'd love to have a real OC2. There are a couple other like little fun things, but the EUNA and the lab compressor stuck out to me. I was already really thinking about the lab, and that just kind of like pushed me over the edge. And I'm so glad I did. Because even when he was doing the big Cali, I would mimic some of the settings that he put on it, and it was really subtle. Like I like my compression and noisy, because it's an 1176 circuit is inherently noisy.
I mean, yeah,
it's just
most
part of
compression on Earth, especially.
The more flavored, usually the more noisy it is.
Yeah, it's just gonna make noise.
And people like that because it's almost like
hates.
a saturation box.
Sure.
Like it's you put a vocal in it and it gets that like airy like top end whatever, and like that's awesome. Anyway, so I'm gonna try the EUNA. I was really curious about it already. I might even hide it since it's just a buffer. I'm not gonna use the on and off. You can hit a foot switch on it and it goes into true bypass mode, and you can put like fuzzes and things that don't like to be buffered.
Nice.
In a loop there. I don't really have anything like that or necessarily care to, so I'm probably going to hide the 29 pedals under and just go into the side of the board. It hits the buffer, then it goes back up into
I love a bottom mounted buffer.
Yeah.
That's how my board is. Shout out, Jonathan.
Bottom buffer, dude.
The bottom buffer. Yeah, it's dope. That's dope. One time, I remember way back in the day, Carson was playing with me, and you had a ring modulator on.
Did I?
You had a ring modulator.
Weird. Why'd I do that?
You loved it.
That's weird. Are you sure it wasn't a chorus or something?
No, it was a ring modulator.
I don't know if I've ever. How old was I?
High school or early college. I loved it.
It just. I would never use that regularly. Even then, I had a little bit of
I don't
taste.
think it was regularly used. I think you were like, I got it, and I'm going to use it.
I'll do a little fun stuff for taste. I need to get back to having a couple really fun things that I use like one time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I bought a little mini phaser one time, and I was like, I love this thing. Like, just throw it on. It's fun, man.
Yeah.
I've always got a chorus dialed up on my HX.
Mm-hmm.
I've always got a chorus. I love bass chorus.
I love a chorus.
Make sparkle.
I sold you and bought back the bass clone EHX.
I'm wheeling and dealing.
And then that was the second one I had. It's noisy. It went noisy again. I think they use like cheaper chips or something. Yeah. I might send it off to Alchemy Audio. The thing about, I know it's a cheap pedal and people would be like, oh, just buy another one. It's a cheap pedal. It has a switch on it where you're chorusing high end only and you're not chorusing the low end.
The old crossover.
And I found when I was hitting a chorus pedal in the context of a band, especially without warning people, it almost made you feel like seasick with the bottom end chorusing like that. And it disrupts the groove of the song. Like the timing has to be perfect, whatever. Whereas this, you still got that bed of low end, but the high end articulation has that cool chorusy thing. So that's like the perfect chorus pedal to me.
Yeah.
And it's like $50 or $60 used, but it got noisy. I don't know. So I might see if something like Alchemy Audio can like soup it up. If not, I'm kind of on the lookout for a chorus. So we'll see what happens.
I meant to circle back about that GK amp that we were talking about that you had and then I bought.
Yes.
Have I ever told you what I did with it?
Oh, no. No.
So a buddy of mine borrowed it for a gig. All right. And he blew one of the speakers.
Nice. Very cool.
He did. He blew one of the speakers. And I had to deal with it because he wasn't going to put another one in.
Oh.
So I took that boy, and a while ago, somebody had given us
about the amp or the actual person?
Huh?
He said we took that boy.
Oh, I took the amp.
Okay.
You had
an
Ampeg little BA.
Oh, cool.
110.
Sure.
What was that thing?
I don't remember. But
Little cube,
right.
little Ampeg cube.
Those were great.
Yeah. I was like, hey, you still got that thing? And you were like, I need to fix it still. And it had been years. And you were like, just take it. And I was like, well, I need a 10-inch speaker out of it. So I I took ye old 10-inch speaker out of it, and I put it in the GK. And you know what I did?
I don't like where this is going. I'm a goody
two-shoes. You love Guitar Center? You like being honest at Guitar Center?
See, here we go.
So I walked over to Guitar Center. I drove over. And I said, I'd like to trade in this amp. And then they said, okay. And I traded it away.
Nice.
That's what I did with
one
it.
Ampeg speaker in it.
One
Ampeg.
GK. That's right.
What if it was awesome?
It's the combo we didn't know we needed. It's a secret sauce, dude.
Yeah.
Somebody gets compliments.
Dude, that GK's got the sauce. What's that? Is that a bug? I missed it. All right, cool.
Yeah, that GK now has the sauce. I'd like you to leave a comment if you've ever
experienced the sauce.
But no, potentially lied to Guitar Center.
Oh gosh.
Leave a comment, or maybe in the Discord. I don't know.
I've never done anything wrong.
I don't know. Did I do anything wrong? Is the real question.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Sure.
All right.
I don't think we have enough time to get into an ethics debate, but
perfect.
And that's why one, you can get really good prices on used Guitar Center things, and two, you probably should not buy it.
If I'm around.
If it's shipping out of a particular Kentucky store, you just go,
that's right.
Probably not. Probably not for me.
That's right. I took some of them Squire pickups and put them into a custom shop.
Just for fun.
Back up. Oh, wait, no, that is what I did.
Just no, you changed out one tuner to a bad tuner on a custom shop.
I didn't do it. Look, I wanted that amp to work. They didn't give me a lot of money for it.
They don't care. They actually don't care. They've powered on and go, oh, it's working. And then they're like, here's a abysmally bad price for it.
Oh, it was horrible.
But they go, or we can give you that abysmally bad price plus 20% off something you actually like. And you're like, all right, I'll find something. I'll find a beater to bring in every time.
$50.
Yeah, every time I want something. And here we are. This is why Guitar Center is going bankrupt because of Nick.
No. It's fine.
yeah, dude. It's fine. Yeah. Well, this has been great.
Wheels fell off. All right.
Wheels definitely fell off. We appreciate you sticking around this long.
That's right.
So yeah, we got a lot more fun guests. I don't want to spill the beans because I'm not sure if this one's coming out before our next guest or after our next guest. Probably after, but
we'll see.
As always, we got some pretty fun stuff in the pipeline.
It's all pipes.
It's a good year. So thanks for supporting us. Join the Discord if you want. See us on Instagram.
That's right.
Blah 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 blah. YouTube. We love YouTube.
Sober die.
Yeah. Okay. See you later.